Okay. You know, when you say prayers and you're asking Jesus to help you, maybe it's like right now you're praying that he could help you find a way to make that second income. Well, you may have it in your mind the way that you want to make that second income, and he may have something else different in mind. So when you're praying and you're searching for answers, you got to be specific for one thing. And like I did, I was praying for a way to make a second income online. And I got out there and started doing the Google searches. Okay, you've got to do something. You just can't just pray, get down on your knees and pray, but not take any sort of action to search what is the answer that he's leading you to. Okay? So what I mean by that is whenever I was praying, I was like, Jesus, I need to make a second income. And he knows everything. So he knew I was struggling. He knew my heart. And he knows everything. So he knew I was struggling inside because I had retired. I was retired for about a year. And things were changing. I had some life challenges come up after I retired. And I was having to utilize more of my savings to make ends meet because I had to basically use half of the savings I had to pay off of a debt that came up unexpectedly after I had retired. My retirement is not enough to cover my expenses now, and I knew that I would be dipping into them a little bit each month, say like $100 or so, but I had enough in there that would last me until I could get to that next income, which would have been when I get to 62. Okay. So I was like, I had enough saved up until that life change came. And I had to use half of that, my savings, to pay this debt that came up, pay it off. Well, and I didn't have a choice. I had to pay it then. And so I did. And I was like, okay, well, now I'm going to need a second income. And this was January of 2026. And I was like, I don't want to wait until I'm down to nothing to find that job because I was about $100 a month. My expenses would have to dip into my savings. And I knew, okay, well, my savings is not going to last long enough to get me to 62. I'm 58. I'll be 59 in about 3 months. So I was like, okay, well, I've got to do something now. I don't want to wait until I'm $1,000 down, away from running out of my savings to then try to find that second income. So I was praying, good Lord, Jesus, help me find a way to make the second income. And I really want to do it online. So there's where I got specific. I said, Jesus, I really don't want to go back to the 9 to 5 because now that I'm in 58, they're not going to pay me what I was making when I retired. Okay. And so I need to make at least half of that or 3/4 of that in the next few years to get me to that 62-year age mark. So I was like, the best way for me to make it a more substantial income than like a $20 an hour. I mean, because say that you're working for $20 an hour, 8 hours a day, you're making $160 a day, $160 a day at $20 per hour. And that's about it, all that someone's going to pay you to go back and say, answer the phones, because you're not looking to go back into where you left, so to speak. I was a professional. I have a degree and I'm an HR professional. So I wasn't going to look for a job that I was doing that for because I was burnt out and overworked and underpaid at doing that. So I knew that I didn't want to go back to that. So I, going back to a 9 to 5 where I made $20 an hour, say I'm in Texas. So you may, in your state, $20 an hour may be kind of more your minimum, but that's a lot for someone to pay, say, a receptionist. just somebody to answer the phones. So I was like, well, that's not going to do what I need to get done and how much money I need to make to put that money back that I had to take that big chunk out. Okay. So when I asked Jesus, I was specific. I said, Jesus, I can't go back to the 9 to 5. They're not going to pay me what I need to make. So I need to make it online. I was out there researching and doing some Google searches. How are they making money online? Because I could see that they were making a substantial amount, and it was a lot more than the $20 an hour. And I said, okay, this is what I need to do. I need to go find the way that they're doing this online to make this additional income. So I was specific in my prayer that I needed to find a way to make that extra income online. But I couldn't just say, Jesus, and do my prayers at night, kneel down and say, okay, I want to make that second income online, but never get online to look to see what's out there and what could I do so that he could lead me and guide me to that answer. So I started doing these searches, Google searches, and that's when I found that a lot of the people that are making money online, they're doing it through digital marketing. Okay, so it's called digital marketing. And that's when I was like, okay, that's what they're doing, digital marketing. Then I need to learn about digital marketing. So I decided then to start Google. I'm sorry, there's a glare from my window. So I had to start looking into that. I was like, okay, digital marketing, then I'm going to have to find a training so that I can learn this. And I know that if you're finding my video, you're like me. You're a woman in her latter 50s, and you're looking for a way to make a second income. Okay? And you're tired of dipping into your savings. And okay, if it's digital marketing, you're willing to learn the new skills to do digital marketing. And our generation, being that I'm 58, I'm used to taking courses. Like when you do a job, they send you to trainings to learn the next thing that's out there. Like when, we were born and there wasn't computers. When I went to college in 1985 to 1990, 85 was about when they came out with Lotus 1, 2, 3. Now, kids nowadays wouldn't even know what that meant. Well, so we all had to go to trainings to learn what was coming out. All right. And that is the same way now. Our generation of people, we want a training. We want to learn what we have to do so that we can do it well. So then when I found out about digital marketing, I couldn't just jump out there and do digital marketing. I didn't even know what it was. And so I Googled and I said, training in digital marketing. So I came across these different trainings. And so then I went back to Jesus and I found a video like I'm doing now, similar, but it was different, but similar. And a lady said that, hey, I'm out here doing digital marketing. I found a training where I could be a beginner. And she said she could be a beginner. She said she didn't have no tech skills needed. No tech skills needed. All she had to have was a smartphone, which is like an iPhone or Samsung, something like that. She had to have a smartphone and Wi-Fi. And I thought, wow, that's all you need to start learning the digital marketing training? And they would teach us step by step what is digital marketing and how to make money doing digital marketing. So I thought, wow, this is great. This sounds like the answer to my prayers. Okay, so here I was out there initiating. I was doing the searching. Just like you're doing now, you're out there researching and you're finding my video. Well, hang with me on this live video. If you want to ask me any questions, I'm live right now. Just put down in the chat what you're wanting to know, and I'll answer your questions. So I got out there, and then I started praying about this training, okay? Because there was a lot of trainings out there that I had seen. But this one that I saw, it seemed to fit what I was looking for. I wanted to be able to work from home. I wanted to have flexible hours. I wanted to be my own boss, and I didn't know anything about social media or anything. So I said, Jesus, I really believe that this is the answer to my prayers that you've led me to, but can I ask you one more thing? Can you verify for sure that this is the right training for me? And he's okay that I ask him again about he led me to some trainings, and then I felt like this was it. But he's okay that we ask him to be sure. It's okay. So I said, can you please tell me yes or no? Just yes or no. And I was quiet. You have to have quiet. You can't have the TV going and, everything going so that you can't just be quiet and get the answer. And he knew I wanted the answer. And so as I was quiet and praying about this and everything, and I actually had started doing some exercises, and what came into my mind was cast your net. And I knew that was my answer, that he was telling me to cast my net, which is what he told Peter after a long day of fishing, him and some other disciples on the boat fishing. They were tired, but they didn't catch anything. They were coming up to the shore, and Jesus told Simon Peter, he said, go back out there, toss the net on the other side of the boat, and you'll catch some fish. Well, Peter trusted Jesus and knew it was Jesus, and he had faith in him. So he went back out there, did what he asked him to do, and they pulled up this net, and it almost broke full of fish. So when he said, cast your net, I remembered that, and so I remember Peter saying yes. So I said yes. And I, right then and there, decided that this was the training for me. And so I invested in myself and in this training so I could learn digital marketing. And I knew Jesus was going to be with me every step of the way. So what I'm saying to you, about prayer and what you're struggling. I know you're struggling. I've struggled. But and I'm not making $1 million yet, but there's the potential that I'm going to make all of that money back because I trust in the Lord. And he's going to help me reach the customers I need to reach to make that income. I believe in him that much, and I believe in this process. And the process is you've got to be coachable. All right. You have to learn new skills. You have to make content, which is what I'm doing here on the internet, is making content. And you have to implement what you're learning. And one other thing is you can't overthink it. You can't think that, I'm too old. I can't do that now. Well, I'm 58 years young, and I can do anything, especially if I have to have that extra money. I will do what it takes to make that extra income. And so you can't just pray and the money appear. You got to do the job. You got to do the work. And to get paid, that's just how things work. You do the job, you get a paycheck. Now, if your comfort zone is the 9 to 5, that's wonderful. Then you don't need to be on the internet looking for something else. Okay? But this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is a job. You're taking on a job, but it's a job that once you learn, you only have to do 2 hours a day. Once you learn how to implement it, you only have to do 2 hours a day. And I thought, wow, if I only have to do 2 hours a day, and I can still be retired. I can still go to mass during the week. I can still volunteer like I've been enjoying this, and doing other things that I enjoy and also make that second income. But you do have to be willing to invest in yourself. And you're probably thinking, well, Jenifer, here I am. I'm already, I've cut back and cut back. And trust me, I've cut back. I only have one thing left to cut back on, and that's my cable. But everything else, I've cut out trash pickup. I've cut out, driving. I live in a rural area, so anywhere we go, like when I go to mass, I'm driving 21 miles just to go to mass, and that's just one way. But it's okay because that I want to do because I need that spiritual nourishment. So I go. So I cut back other places so that I can continue until the money starts kicking in. Now, what I mean by that is you can learn and earn at the same time, meaning you don't have to be an expert to start earning an income doing digital marketing. There's multiple income streams, and you just pick and choose what it is you want to learn in the modules that you get. And as you go through them and learn them and you're putting your content out there, then that's how you're bringing in money while you're still learning it all. Okay? So you can do things called affiliate marketing. You can sell the training. Okay? That's one way you can start making money is selling the training that you purchase. And the beauty of this training is that that's what everybody's going to need to learn the digital marketing space online. Well, you may think, well, Jenifer, everybody must be doing it. Well, they're not. When there's 5 billion people, well, it's more than that, but I'm just rounding it to people getting on the internet every day. And I read that there's like a little over 8 billion people in the world. So you got 5 billion people getting on the internet. Well, not everybody's doing digital marketing because you've got people out there, all they're doing is going on and shopping. So they're looking for whatever you've got to sell. Just like going on Amazon and, these places and Walmart online and buying your groceries and it's coming to you. Going on Wayfair, whatever it is, and you're searching for, yard furniture. So everybody's on the internet for different reasons. There's 5 billion people every day. So if you're wanting to make income, then you can purchase the training. And when you purchase the training, you can then sell it. Okay? All right. And there's different levels of the training that you can purchase. And it ranges from $100 to $1,400. There's 3, 6, 9, and 14. Okay? So say right now you're feeling pretty strapped, so you feel like you can only afford the $300 one level. Well, you're going to learn enough to start making an income at $300 a level. So if you sell one customer a $300 training level, then you made $300 that day. $300. Would that help you? Just think, if you were making $20 an hour and you worked 8 hours, you got $160 for that 8 hours. And you can work 2 hours and make $300 in a day getting one customer. But think about it. What if you said, okay, well, so you got three customers and you got the $900 level. I mean, you got $900 because you sold 3 customers. Well, you can upgrade to the $900 by just paying the $600 difference. Well, now you're broke even because all you had to do is pay you already paid for your $300. All right. Because you sold a 9, and that because you sold 3 of these. So you have $900 in your bank. Well, you paid off your $300. Now you got $200 in the positive. Okay. And now, so you have $600. Well, all it takes is $600 to get your $900 one. So you reinvest in yourself. So now you own the $900 level. Okay. So now if you get a $900 customer, one customer, $900, now you're already ahead of yourself. Now you're in the $900 and you're making money. $900. And just, this is through social media. So just think, okay, say that you have, it's all about the math. Say that you have you already know about social media. You're ahead of me. Say you have a Facebook. You've had Facebook since it came out. And you've got a group of people and everything on Facebook that aren't just family. You have a group of people that have been watching you on Facebook and everything. Well, what if that group of people, you can learn how to communicate with them, and you tell them about this training that you're learning, because they're all your age group and everything. You're saying, look, man, I'm on Facebook and I'm doing this training. I purchased a $900 training and I've already made enough money because I got 3 customers. I made my money back. And they're going, golly, well, how'd you do that? And you tell them. Then the next thing you know, you've got 2 or 3 people. They're like, man, I want to do that too. And they're saying, so then you get 3 people at $900. That's $2,700 you've made. And say that you did it in a week. You could have $2,700 in a week. If it took you a month and you got 1 customer each week, and each one of them bought and you 4 weeks and you had 4 customers, that's $3,600. Well, would that $3,600 help you get out of the financial struggles you're in? And you could use Facebook, something that you know really well and you know how to communicate through. I mean, it's a no-brainer to do that. There's not too many people. All you have to do is get out there and put content out there, learn through the training. And then you can also, say that you're passionate about, and I'll just use examples. Say that you're a quilter and you love quilting and you've got a group of ladies that y'all quilt once a week. Y'all get together maybe once a month and you're making patterns and everything, making your own patterns, and y'all are quilting and talking and chit-chatting. Well, you can have your phone set up and you could be videoing. I know we used to video with a camcorder or whatever, but now we've got the phones. They video. Say that you set your phone up and you're videoing your little group and y'all are quilting and you're showing someone. You've got a new member who's never done quilting before and you're going over the basic steps and you're videoing that. Well, you can put that video out there on the internet and say, beginning quilters wanted, or whatever, do you want to learn the steps to start learning how to quilt? And you say, and they say yes, then you give them a video. You sell them a video for $7. Well, what if you had 7 people, and you got $49? But what on the internet, say that 500 women were like, oh my gosh, I ran across this, and they're selling a $7 video of how to take the basics. Well, then 500 people got out there, you got $3,500 just over showing them that video that didn't cost you anything to make. And you were already doing something that you enjoyed doing with your group of friends. So this training shows you different ways to make income. And you can learn and put stuff out there and learn and put stuff out there. And so you can learn. They call it learn and earn. So it's different than going to college. You go to college for four or 5 years, and it takes you 4 or 5 years, and you went in debt, multiples, thousands and thousands of dollars, and then you hope you're going to be able to pay off your college tuition, by the time, you do, get through your career or whatever, you're like going, because it's expensive. So, I mean, this training, it's not like that. I mean, you pay that one time, you make your money back, you're done. You just keep earning money now, and the more customers, so 8 customers a month. If you get 8 customers a month and you have moved up to the $1,400 one, say that the $900, the $900 one you already got, you've already made your money back. And now you want to upgrade to the 1,400. Okay, so now you only have to spend $500 to get to this one. Okay, so you only have to spend $500 to get the maximum one. That's like buying the Cadillac. So you get there and it's got all of the income streams and everything that they're going to teach you. You get in a community of 60,000 people that are like-minded, and you can bounce ideas off of it. You got access to live chats, all kinds of things. And I mean, you get some of that in the 900, but the 1,400 is the premium. Okay, so now you've got the $1,400. Well, did you realize that if you have the $1,400 one and you get 8 customers, now remember, there's 5 billion people on the internet. You get 8 customers a month. Okay, so that's not 8 times, that's 96 customers a year. That's over $100,000 a year that you can make by selling just this training, just the training. Okay, that's over $100,000 a year that you can make just selling the training that people need to earn an income, to learn how to earn money online. I mean, that's amazing. Amazing. And then there's other ways. You may say, no, I really don't want to. That's not me. You don't have to call people. You're not having to call them. You're not have to direct message them. Everything's automated. And when you purchase the training, whether it's the $900 training, $1,400, $600, you're going to get your email system set up. You're going to get web pages set up. It's all included. You're going to get live modules and everything that is the founder of the company. So when you send an email to somebody, say someone says, hey, Jenifer, like me, I'm interested in getting that free blueprint that you are talking about that's going to tell me about this training. Well, when I send them the free blueprint, they're going to get information in a video from the founder, and it's all automated. So when you say, hey, Jenifer, I want to know more about what you're talking about, great. That's what I want you to do. I want you to say yes in the comments that I want to know more about this training. And when you do, I'm going to send it to you for free. And it's going to tell you everything that I'm learning and how I'm doing this step by step. And then once you say, okay, I'm going to invest in myself. I'm worth it. You are worth it. And if I can do this, you can too. And you're worth it. And so if you have to say to yourself that I'm worth it, I know it's $900. I know it's $1,400. But what is it going to give me in return? Like if you started a business out there, a brick and mortar, I mean, it would cost you a lot more than $1,400 to do it. Say that you wanted your bakery or whatever, well, you can earn enough money online to eventually start your bakery, or you could have fun and do your baking on, and showing your videos and everything. And maybe they're not getting that tangible biscuit, but you're showing them how to make your biscuits and it's making you money. And then you're spending more time with your grandkids and your children, and you're taking them on vacation or whatever, and you're spending more time with them, or you're retired and you're being able to go play golf because you put your 2 hours in and the system is automated and it's working for you while you're out there playing golf. I mean, it can't get any better than that. And you're earning your income. So that's what I'm saying. Jesus may have something different in store for you. I mean, I never dreamed I would be making YouTube videos. If you would have told me this when I retired, that I was going to be making YouTube videos when I didn't even like my picture taken, I didn't know anything about social media whatsoever, but I'm making it because Jesus told me to cast my net out there and I trust him. And that's what I'm doing. And I know I will be successful, and I know I can help you be successful too. Because if you believe in him and you believe that he sent you across this video, this live video, and you're out there, I wish you would, say, hey, Jenifer, I need to know a little bit more to this chat. And I would talk to you right now. But I'm thankful for the people that are watching and not wanting to chat right now. It's okay. I mean, if you don't want to chat right now and you're just, you're just dipping your toe in the water, that's okay. But in order to follow what Jesus wants you to do, you got to think outside the box, because he's a grand thinker. He wants great things for all of us. But a lot of times we're afraid to ask for anything like that. Especially us Christian women, we think that, oh, we're not supposed to ask for more, or we're supposed to allow let our spouse be the provider. Well, if you're like me and you don't have that spouse anymore, and you've got to do it on your own. But what if your spouse needs some support? He's like, man, I'm out there busting my derriere every day, and she's at home, and the kids are already grown and out of the house. I'd like some relief. Well, what if you could help supplement your income to help him be able to retire earlier? Wouldn't you want to do that? That way you both can enjoy each other's time more. So you don't know what Jesus's plan is, but if you're praying and you're asking Jesus to answer your prayer because you need a second income, and you're coming across this video and you're like, you wanted to work from home, you didn't want to go back to the 9 to 5, you've got to make a substantial income because you've got to pay that money back to your savings, and you're tired of going to the store right now. I'm having to penny pinch everything, so I look at the prices of everything. I didn't think I was going to have to be in that situation, but I am, and it's okay, because I know the good Lord's there was a reason, and he's going to help me out of it. I trust him that much. And when he said cast your net, I was like, okay. I mean, this is really out of the box for me. I mean, I'm just saying. And it was scary but I jumped. When he said cast your net, the next day I was investing in myself. I was getting my website set up, and I was getting on the road to making videos. And that was in February the 16th to the 26th. It took about, it took me, because I'm 58, took me like 10 days or something to get everything set up and get my mind grasped around everything. And I was doing some of the modules and everything. But by March 18th, which was not, about a month, I'm putting out videos. And I've been doing it ever since, because that's one thing they tell me, Jenifer, you don't have to be an expert. You don't have to be great. Just put it out there. Be human. Be trustworthy. Be yourself. And I thought, okay, well, I can do that. I can do that. So this is like my 6th live I'm putting out there, and I thank you for watching. If you're not chatting with me, that's okay, but thank you for watching. But I am going to find that success because I trust him, and I know that he wants me out here doing this when he told me to cast my net. And that's what I'm doing. So you got to take the steps. You can't just keep looking and looking and looking, but never find any way to implement. And like I said, when I started doing the steps, they said, Jenifer, put it out there. If I just get 1% better at each video I put out there, after I put 100 videos out, I'll be 100% better. And I'm thinking, well, that's great. I'm only at 37 videos on long form right now, so I've got a ways to go, but I'm getting better, and I'm glad. Okay, I've got somebody coming in. thank you for coming. And yes, I'm seeking more for myself. And if you're on the same journey, well, welcome. I'm glad you're here. I mean, the journey is a journey, but I'm here for you. If you have any questions, just reach out to me and I'll help you. But we've got to pray, and whenever he says cast our net, or do this is good for you, then you've got to take action. So that's what I did. I'm coachable. I'm out here. I'm putting content out there, and I know that he wants me out here for a reason. And I believe that faith and business can go coexist. And that's one thing I love about having a business and doing this training and going through this content, that I can spread the word of the good Lord Jesus. I can love him. I can talk to y'all out there, and I can also have a business. And that's the beauty of it. So I know he wants me out here doing this. And so I'm going to keep doing it, and I'm going to get better and better. If you want to know about the training that I'm learning to do digital marketing and make that second income, all you have to do is say yes, and I'll send you the free blueprint. If you're not ready for that and you just need some spiritual nourishment, I want you to come into my community. I developed a Christian community out there on School. Okay? And it's at www.school, and it's skool.com / and it's the Faith Casters Basket -8384. So if you want to join my free community at School, www.skool.com, the Faith Casters Basket 8384, I'd love you to join if you just need spiritual nourishment. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. I'm so tickled that I had somebody jump in and give me kudos for doing this, and thank you for that. And if you want to know more and you want to know what I'm doing, just say yes in the comments, and I'll get you the free blueprint. The blueprint will show you the training I'm doing. And thank you, everybody, and have a great evening.